we go. A very good morning to you, Grenada, and the rest of the world. It is the 5th day of June 2019. I'm George Grant and saying, hey, thanks a lot for joining us for today's edition of Good Day Grenada. Folks, just came from the balcony. Beautiful morning. Beautiful morning here. You know, we've been telling you over the past couple of days that it looks like the rainy season has arrived. Well, yeah, I'm sure it has. But nevertheless, we're bathed in sunshine this morning. And I hope that wherever you are, your hearts, too, are filled with sunshine. Let's take a look at the rundown. Yeah, this morning we're getting back to the health issue in this country. We're going to talk about universal health coverage, or not. That's what it says out there on the page. We'll tell you what that's about in just a wee bit. Yes, we do have the national report for you, and as I speak, there she is. Let's take a quick look. Not going to say anything yet, just there she goes. There she goes. Yes, good morning to you, Sherron. Sherron's going to be joining us this morning. I don't know whether she's brought along her better half with her this morning, but we'll see as the morning goes on, okay? So right now, let's get into the rundown or should I say good morning? Yeah, let's say good morning to the folks out there, first of all, on social media. I see. Hello there, Donna Joseph. She's saying good morning to everyone on the platform. Pele, can you believe it? Pele usually shows up just before we pull the curtain down. He is number 2 on there this morning. What got into you this morning, Pele? Yeah. Pele is there, and Margaret's also there with her dark sunglasses. What are you hiding from, girl? Good to see you. And John Crow Alexander says that D-Day was celebrated yesterday. Okay, John, thanks for the heads up. And good morning to you. And also good morning to Benedict. Mr. Cador says, wonderful Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. Now, folks, let's get down to brass tacks. Here is a piece which takes another look at Grenada's healthcare system, with some suggestions being made by Claudette Joseph in this week's edition of the NDC Heartbeat. It's captioned Universal Health Coverage. And by the way, you can also check this out on the GRENADABROADCAST.com website. I quote, "The 72nd World Health Assembly was held in Geneva, Switzerland, last month, May 2019. And the delegates adopted 3 resolutions relating to universal health coverage. The resolutions are expected to be acted upon by delegates when they return home, since these are the recommended approaches to strengthen our health systems and provide quality health coverage for the entire population. These resolutions require member states to implement recommendations agreed upon back in 2018, which would strengthen primary health care to have quality integrated health systems and empowered individuals and communities. It also suggests that attention be placed on community health workers who should be in the front line of developing PHC, that's primary health care. The resolutions supported the organizing of a high-level meeting at the United Nations in New York during September 2019 to discuss universal health coverage. And finally, the resolutions asked member states to, quote, accelerate progress towards universal health coverage with a focus on poor, vulnerable, and marginalized individuals and groups. We should all agree that the health of a nation is its greatest wealth. It appears, however, that this NNP administration is squandering the oil and gas wealth of our nation and steadily compromising the health of our population. What have the people of Grenada been hearing from our government? Instead of reporting on the resolutions on UHC, that's universal health coverage, as agreed to in Geneva, the Minister of Health is selling National Health Insurance, or NHI, as the approach to improve our health system. While individual responsibility is extremely important in maintaining a good health status, the policymakers are responsible for ensuring a health system that is holistic and works for the benefit of all. Implementation of the NHI is only a part of, not the final answer to, alleviating our troubles in the health sector. In fact, without a broader focus on universal health coverage, the NHI will collapse. Implementing UHC is essential to guaranteeing the population comprehensive, quality, and effective health services. When we look at the state of Grenada's health services, it has never been worse. Our health indicators over the last 25 years show a constant increase in the prevalence of diabetes, hypertension, cancers, heart disease, and depression, among others. People are hardly using our community health services and are having tremendous difficulties seeing a specialist, and most cannot afford to pay them. Poor people cannot afford poor people will endure all kinds of stress to access health care services today, having to resort to motorcades and donation sheets to pay for health care. Our hospital services are constantly under pressure, with quality of service deteriorating rapidly. Very little attention is given to mental health. Our nurses have not been treated with love and respect and are moving to greener pastures. Grenada is about to lose another batch of senior nurses, and the government does not seem to care. The morale of health workers is at its lowest, and staff are going through the motion, trying hard to maintain their professionalism. The primary health care program is not functioning, and this government has no idea what to do. Leadership of the health sector is a critical ingredient in maintaining a strong health system, and this is the main problem with the Grenada health care system today. The theme set for World Health Day by the World Health Organization for 2018 and 2019 was universal health coverage, everyone, everywhere. This celebration took place in April on the 7th, and we heard nothing from our Minister of Health to mark the occasion. But we will certainly see representation at the meeting in New York next September. Despite going on a retreat on health, the government is yet to state their position on universal health coverage. The NDC calls on the government to have a national dialogue on UHC that approaches health reform in a comprehensive way, rather than their limited focus on NHI. The resources currently being used on NHI can be spent more effectively. Despite the glaring situation in our health sector, this government is acting in a heartless manner, focusing all its attention on how people will pay for health care services when they are sick, rather than promoting policies that will keep them healthy. How can the government think of taxing people more to implement a program that is not focusing on an integrated, comprehensive approach to health? The push towards NHI must be done within the context of UHC, and the problems and solutions of our public health system must be clearly identified. While discussions on NHI are currently taking place with Grenadians, the course is already set for implementation in early 2020. This is another indication of the government's lack of understanding of what genuine consultation is all about. The NDC is not convinced that this process will lead to successful implementation unless we follow the recommendations agreed upon at the World Health Assembly back in May. The NDC is committed to implementing universal health coverage within the context of the 2030 UN Sustainable Development Goals. The party believes in the importance of genuine consultation, which will allow us to fully understand our realities. And we are committed to going through that process. We will then be better able to develop policies consistent with human development. Dialogue with our health workers must be a priority, and the NDC will listen to them. How can we speak of major health reform without appreciating the importance of their input? Our health sector lacks leadership, and the NDC calls on the current Prime Minister to replace the current Minister of Health with someone who appreciates the importance of people. The health of our nation is the wealth of our nation. Let us advocate for improved quality, accessibility, and affordability that is provided in an equitable manner for all Grenadians. Let's discuss and implement universal health coverage. Pilgrims, text of an article which was published just last night on the GRENADABROADCAST.com website. It's written by Claudette Joseph, who is the Public Relations Officer of the National Democratic Congress. Now, before we move on, let's see who else is there. Bernard Gilbert's joined us. Hazel Ferguson is saying good morning. Pele Darbo says, your program competes with World Cup cricket and the French Open. Yeah, well, listen, sorry about that, but I'm glad that you did find some time to visit with us anyway, Pele. We were here before World Cup cricket. Yeah, so take that. Arthur Langine is saying, good morning, bro. Hey, Arthur. And John Crow Alexander says, love that lady's perspectives on certain matters. Health coverage, big responsibility for small nations. Absolutely, John Crow. And Kipling's saying good morning and sending his blessings to all. Now, just before we move on, I want to show you something. It's another way of life. Watch this carefully and let it sink in. Someone shared this video with me a couple of days ago, and the first thing I did was ask myself whether I could ever handle this way of living. You know, you and I sit here, we think, things hard, boy, life hard. Well, let me confess right off the bat that I do not know where this footage was shot. Telling you that straight up. But I can tell you for sure that it wasn't in our Caribbean islands. The video shows what people in some parts of the world have to endure to get to work, or to school, or to wherever. Parents often carrying children on their backs while traversing horrifying, and I mean horrifying terrain. Take a look, you'll see in just a wee bit. And here I am, bitching about climbing Market Hill. My friends, take a look and you realize how good we have it here in Grenada.
多少人没有过迷茫，多少人依然在逞强。我守着我的倔强，在回忆里成长。忘了吧，我没有感伤。多少人没有过彷徨，多少人依然在流浪。我守着我的梦想，哪怕有再多的伤，继续吧，路还有很长。这一切其实本无味，细细的品尝，慢慢体会，苦辣酸甜让你搭配，怎样才会更完美？这一切其实本无味，谁欠下了情，谁来赎罪？喜怒哀乐，笑里的泪，是为谁？多少人没有过彷徨，多少人依然在流浪。我守着我的梦想，哪怕有再多的伤，继续吧，路还有很长。这一切其实本无味，细细的品尝，慢慢体会，苦辣酸甜让你搭配，怎样才会更完美？这一切其实本无味，谁欠下了情，谁来赎罪？喜怒哀乐，笑里的泪，是为谁？这一切其实本无味，细细的品尝，慢慢体会，苦辣酸甜让你搭配，怎样才会更完美？这一切其实本无味，谁欠下了情，谁来赎罪？喜怒哀乐，笑里的泪，是为谁？ 笑里的泪是为谁？多少人没有过迷茫，多少人依然在逞强。我守着我的倔强，在回忆里成长。忘了吧，我没有感伤。
Whoa. Pilgrims, what do you think? Kind of sad, eh? Kind of sad. I don't know. These are probably refugees. Some of these people may be on their way to work, school, or whatever. Sad. And we think we have it hard here in Grenada? Donna Joseph says, I saw that video too, and I wondered what could have driven these people to go live in this place. Or if this was a detour or a shortcut to get from where they live to the nearest town or villages where they work and had to go to school. I don't know, Donna. But one way or another, it's moving. So please, let's not complain too much. There's some who have it a lot worse than we do. Fitzroy is saying good morning. Arthur Langine is asking, is this for real? Saw it with your own eyes, my friend. Yeah. Okay, let's take our first little break, and then we'll come on back with your favorite, the National.
Grenadian General Insurance Company, strength and stability. Grenadian General Insurance Company. Tell your friends, tell your family. We cover householders comprehensive, motor and even fire too. Contractors, all risk burglary, public liability, professional indemnity, directors liability, and wait, we still have more. Come and find out more what you're waiting for.
We are located on Scott Street, St. George's. For more information, call 440-2434.
Tell everybody.
Boy, yo, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up.
I'm coming. Karim, what you doing?
Fly my kite.
Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy.
Why not? The wind good.
Because mommy say kite threads conduct electricity.
Yeah, kite. He's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, it can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked.
Come, let's go and fly them in the pasture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Kite threads conduct electricity. Do not fly kites near overhead power lines. This can lead to electric shocks and power outages. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, do not try to retrieve it. Release it and call GRENADA. Always fly kites in open areas. Keep your kites far away from roads. And remember, always clean up after yourself.
GRENADA, energizing our Grenada.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Donna's got a great sense of humor. She says here, if I were to live in such a place, I would become a base jumper when I have to get down. Yeah, Donna, and be pieces when you get to the bottom, right? Pilgrims, here comes your national report.
Grenada to benefit from €14 million pledge. Details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, June 4th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Grenada stands to benefit from a €14 million pledge made by the European Union. Minister with responsibility for disaster management and information, Senator the Honorable Dr. Winston Gudday, disclosed this during the government's weekly post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday, which focused on disaster management. The pledge was made during the recently concluded Understanding Risk Management Conference in Barbados, which was sponsored by the World Bank, the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, CDEMA, and the European Union.
The European Union pledged another €14 million for the region for disaster risk-related projects. 7 million of the 14 is dedicated to CDEMA, our partner. And as I said, CDEMA is the one who would have funded the water upgrade project with NAWASA. So €7 million, €7 million, sorry, it's a lot of money. There will be a call for proposal later this year. I want to say that we have 3 proposals inside already, and they have been approved for additional projects. So I'm looking forward to Grenada continuing on the pathway of being the country that had the largest uptake in terms of projects from CDEMA.
Senator Gudday says government is cognizant of the need to provide support for the vulnerable population and has undertaken to write project proposals to address such. He highlighted 3 projects which have already been approved.
We have a National Voluntary Service proposal inside. Our aim is to train all those who want to be trained in terms of responding in the event of disasters and the likes. So we have that proposal inside, and we're looking to do that. We have a CERT program project, that is a community emergency response training. And what will happen with that? We want to train the trainers, training of the trainers with that project, so that at least we will have more certified persons here who will then be able to be deployed around the country and train other persons. And the last one we had is an upgrade of some of our EOCs, Emergency Operation Centers, where we have some generators that was not covered or protected, and we got some support to do that.
Moving forward, the plan is to improve and increase on the number of proposals already approved. The Royal Grenada Police Force is well prepared to ensure the security of the state should the country be impacted during the 2019 Atlantic hurricane season. Acting Commissioner of Police Edwin Martin says the RGPF has a comprehensive plan which is built firmly on 4 pillars.
The establishment of safe houses for police stations we considered to be vulnerable, and these safe houses now act as alternative stations should in case the primary station is compromised. We do this in collaboration with our stakeholders, business communities, etc., who volunteer places. If a system is approaching us, the safe house is activated and have the capacity to continue police operations seamlessly at that point in time. We also have the forward deployment locations, and forward deployment are normally locations where we consider to have critical infrastructure as well as areas that we consider to be of high security risk for looting and other events. What we do here, we deploy hybrid security teams, and by this I mean teams that constitute SSU, CID, and regular police, so they have the capacity to respond and deal with any particular threat that might happen prior to or in the aftermath of any system.
The forward deployment units, he says, are established in collaboration with businesses who have given space in their establishments that his officers will occupy before and after any hazard impact.
The forward deployment locations and the teams that we place, they do have the capacity to stand alone for at least 24 hours, should in case in the immediate aftermath of a weather system, we may not have the ability to reach them immediately. The next element in our plan is the security of towns. In this strategy, there is a clear approach for us to ensure that checkpoints are established on all routes leading into our main towns, and as well as static locations within the town. And the intention here is to prevent our towns from being flooded with individuals in the aftermath where businesses may be compromised, to ensure that the security and integrity of businesses and places are well protected.
The safe houses are strategically located across the country and will be utilized if police stations become compromised during a weather system.
What we do is carry out an inspection of all of our police stations, and the assessment is made basically on a Category 3 system. If a station does not have the capacity to withstand a Category 3 system, then that station is a potentially compromised station. And once that station is so determined, then we seek or try to identify possible safe houses within that community, within close enough proximity that we can establish a safe house. And the safe house, basically, as I said, it is an alternate station. So before the blow, we set it up with all the resources. Personnel are moved in there, a percentage of personnel, so that if the primary becomes compromised, we move straight to the safe house, that the operations of the police is continuous.
Commissioner Martin says the forward deployment mechanism, which the RGPF operates, makes provision for the head of state, government ministers, senators, and members of the diplomatic corps. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
The countdown is on to Grenada's most exciting music festival. Friday, 7th June is Sol EC Limited Rhythm and Soul Night with Kerry Hilson, the legendary Freddie Jackson, Eddie Bullen, and Jefferson Ramirez. Saturday, 8th June is Wester Hall Rum Reggae Fest featuring Busy Signal, Maxi Priest, Kimani Marley, Tamara St. Bernard, and more. The festival climaxes on Sunday, 9th June with a George F. Huggins Soca Fusion featuring the All-Stars with Tennyson John and Blacks, Patrice Roberts, Wes Ways, Jab King, and more. Gates open 7 p.m., showtime 9 p.m. Advance tickets $80 Friday and Saturday, $60 on Sunday, and are available island-wide. Limited VIP and season tickets at Grenada Optical and GoToFet.com. Grenada Music Festival 2019. Get your tickets today. Sponsors: Silver Sands Grenada, Hennessy, the Antillian Group, Coca-Cola, St. George's University, Glen Elch Springwater, and Netherlands Insurance.
Welcome back. Former Trade Union Council President Madonna Harford says Grenada must take immediate action to implement measures to enhance the sustainability of the insurance fund. She was speaking at Tuesday's stakeholder consultation, which was hosted by the National Insurance Scheme. The National Insurance Scheme embarked on public engagements following the completion of the 11th Actuarial Review, which outlines key recommendations that must be implemented to improve the scheme and make it more sustainable. Mrs. Harford described the NIS as a legacy of the People's Revolutionary Government in 1983 and reminisced on the establishment of the scheme as one of the initial contributors as a public officer. According to Harford, after 36 years, we can no longer afford to procrastinate and risk losing our Social Security fund.
We have no choice but to implement those recommendations. If we continue to procrastinate with the rapidly growing expenditure, especially benefit payments for retired persons, NIS will be in crisis. Could we afford to allow this to happen? No. Every one of us present here today has either contributed or is a contributor to the NIS. We are all stakeholders and must show interest in what is ours.
She says Grenada is already too late in action following several reviews. The former TUC president implored on employers and employees to join the debate and support the NIS in its quest to provide enhanced security for future generations.
As workers and as pensioners, we have to lend our voices to the debate and ensure that changes are made to the retiring age as well as the contribution rate. Consultations which started years ago to obtain buy-in from stakeholders must continue in communities so that everyone will understand the importance of effecting those changes.
That story just brought the curtains down on the national report for today, Tuesday, June 4th. Let's recap the top story. Grenada to benefit from €14 million pledge. On behalf of everyone here at the Government Information Service who made this newscast possible, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Alrighty, folks, first of all, I'd like to say that it's so nice to see our acting Commissioner of Police, Edwin Martin, back in uniform. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back. Now, a couple of comments here. Arthur Langine is asking, what does Grenada do with all of these handouts that they get? Good question, sir. You know, I want to see what's going to happen when the well dries up, you know, because those handouts aren't as readily available anymore as they were in the past. But time's coming. Time's coming. He also goes on to say, you need training yourself, Mr. Minister. And he says, I hate to listen to the national report. It's just talk and more talk. Arthur, look, I understand how you feel because you're not the only one. You know, we get these complaints regularly. However, Arthur, you and all the other people on this forum should be so delighted with yourselves that you allow these folks to have a voice, which is a lot more than I can say they do for us, okay? They have a right to say what they feel. We may not agree with everything they say, but we give them the right. We give them the opportunity to be on here, okay? Sadly, they don't see things that way. Enough said. Margaret says, I could see the mouth salivating over that 14 million. Money. Yeah, Mags, I know, Mags, I know. Maybe tomorrow night we could talk about that on Meckwee Chat. Donna Joseph says, Mrs. Hofford should also admonish this government that the NIS isn't their personal piggy bank, and that when they are dipping their hands into the NIS, they should consult with stakeholders because it's our money and future that they are compromising when they take, and don't pay back. Donna, way to go, girl. Pilgrims, take a look. She does have her hubby with her this morning. Ah, yes, he's in purple. I wonder if he's mourning. I hope he's not. It seems purple from where I sit. I'm wondering if he's not mourning, thinking that maybe tomorrow the Windies might get their butt kicked. Nah, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Let's take a little break here, and we'll come back with Winty after this.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
My name is Kizzy Marisha. I've been a confectionery maker 16 years now. Well, as a child growing up, my grandmom always make fudge and always make any candies, cakes, as I remember. And I always have an interest in that, you know? It's like when I'm in the kitchen, I'm very happy. If you're making coconut fudge, you just grate the coconut, you squeeze the milk, and then you strain it, and then you add your sugar, and then you put it to boil. And then after, when you reach a certain stage, you get thick, so you got to beat it. Then after, when you beat it, you pour it out, and then wait for a few minutes to get hard, and then you slice it, you cut it, and then after you break it up, and then you package it. Yeah. Providing food fair is 16 years now. I remember when I just go drop it in the fudge. I was a bit younger too, and I met Miss Harris. So I went here and said, you know, I have a product here, some fudge. I was wondering if y'all would be interested to take some fudge or candies from me. I showed her, she said, you look very nice, you know? So she said, I'll try it. So she told me to bring back some another day. So that's when I started, but Miss Harris took it from me. And then they would start, so, you know. I had a good relationship with them. Of course, I felt special, you know, at least somebody taking my thing local and, you know, other people can see it, because if it's I just have it, not much people come. A lot of people comes in, they're foreigners. So it was kind of special, you know, and especially when I go in there, all the workers, it's very nice to me. If I pass and they say, Kizzy, you bringing anything this week? If the thing finished, you know, they always look out for me. That's what I like. The atmosphere is nice in there. My name is Kizzy Marisha. I work with Food Fair to provide you with sweet treats.
A note here from Margaret. Margaret says, I just love these food fairs.
A natural disaster can change your life in minutes. Preparation is the best protection for your family and business. Prepare now. Create a disaster plan and make sure everyone knows what to do. Store water, non-perishable food, and medication. Remember basic emergency supplies such as batteries and flashlights. Trim overhanging trees. If trees near power lines are unsafe to trim, call GRENLEC at 237 for assistance or advice. Install surge protectors to safeguard your electrical devices against outages and intermittent surges. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Okay, let's go to
GRENLEC, energizing our Grenada.
Yeah. George screwed up there. George, guilty as charged. Let me go back. I was saying that Margaret said a little while ago, just love these food fair infomercials. And I said, yes, Margaret, so do I. And I really want to salute Hubbard's for doing what they're doing, you know, highlighting, showcasing Grenada's small, the micro enterprise businesses in this place. Wonderful job. Keep it up, Filbert. And Kipling Francis was responding to Arthur a little while ago. Arthur was talking about what happens with all these handouts that we're getting. Well, Kipling suggests here, as he says, Arthur, some of that money is being put aside for the next election. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, now, here we go. There they are. See them? Yeah. Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Wiltshire Roberts, Wiltshire, Winty and Sherry. How are you guys doing?
Hi, we're good. Morning, everybody.
You know,
I had I,
a little while ago, I was wondering. I mean, I see the man in purple this morning. What go, Winty?
this is the this is a Reiki this is a Reiki piece. I use my West Indian jersey tomorrow when we play Australia.
And tell me now, you're prepared. You're prepared. Are you going to be the first person down at the stadium tomorrow morning?
Well, I want to tell you that I was listening to Ray Roberts yesterday, and he was quite correct. I was not surprised at all when we demolished Pakistan. And I have a very long cricket memory. And in 2015, when Darren Sammy was our captain, we were ranked 9th in the ODI rankings. And only 8 teams were to go to the championship trophy. And we had a scheduled tri-nation series with Zimbabwe and Pakistan. And if we did well in that series, Pakistan would have come out and we would have got in. Pakistan canceled the series, so we did not make the 2017 championship trophy.
Okay.
So last Friday, after we got the first wicket of Pakistan, I said I want us to bowl them out for less than 100.
You got close.
I got close.
You got close. Hey, by the way, since you mentioned Ray Roberts, I guess you heard him saying that, he's looking forward to this session with you. And I think we need to set up a date. You want us to plan right now on maybe doing it next Wednesday?
Why not? Why not?
Where would we be next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday we'll be in Croydon.
Croydon.
Yeah.
Croydon. There's somebody who appears on Mekwee Chat every Thursday night. Her name is Catherine Edwards. And she is in Croydon.
Okay.
Hey, you might want to check her out. Okay, so I'm going to tell Ray, let's get together and do this next Wednesday. All right?
But let me just tell you what Russell said after the match. He said, we gave you the start you desired, and we definitely feeling the love. This start showed we can do it, and we're on our way. We're not going to get complacent, and we're not going to say we've already won it. We are going to give ourselves the best chance, taking it game by game. And I say to West Indian fans, stick with us. Don't be faint-hearted. We got to bank a lot in the past, but oh God.
Winty, I'm sure you'll agree with me that it's shaping up to be a pretty interesting series.
I didn't get that.
I said, I'm sure you will agree with me that it's shaping up to be a very interesting series. And
definitely. Definitely.
You couldn't have picked a better one to go to.
I mean, look, England got beaten by Bangladesh.
You got beaten by what?
England got beaten by Bangladesh yesterday. They're supposed to be the favorites.
There you go.
That's right.
There you go. Any changes in the West Indies lineup for tomorrow?
They haven't announced a team yet. I suspect if Lewis is fit, either Puran or Dan Bravo might be left out.
Okay. What's going on, Sherron?
A lot of things going on. But remember, originally, one of the things I'm here about is Pittimartinique. And I was listening to the ad just now about the music festival, and I'm sort of disappointed that they would put it on the same weekend with Pittimartinique regatta, because in the past, the regatta, boats would go up from Grenada, excursioning to enjoy the Pittimartinique regatta. And I know of a lot of people who are from Pittimartinique, but oh my gosh, they want to hear Freddie Jackson. If I was there, I would have been torn because Freddie Jackson is one of my favorites.
Okay.
But they had so far, as you know, they started off last Sunday with the mass, and I have the schedule. So if anybody wants to go up, remember you have the Osprey and other boats going up. You could even go up now with your vehicle on the
Dolly
dolly
C.
and ride over. I'm not too sure, but I think Dolly C is going straight to Pitimartinique.
Okay.
Although you don't need a vehicle there, you could just walk. And mostly everything happens on the beachfront.
Yeah.
And we have the festival and the opening on Friday. And then you have Round the Island race on Saturday, as well as the soca session on Saturday night. And one of the things they added about 3 years ago is Juve. Imagine that, on a Monday morning. Because remember, Monday is a holiday, so you have a long weekend. And those of you who like Juve, go up and taste Pitimartinique Juve, which is with a difference.
You know, Sherron, I'm really glad that you brought up Pitimartinique this morning, because you and I have talked about this before. The people of Pitimartinique sometimes seem to be a little bit resentful towards us here on the Big Island, because we just don't seem to take them into consideration. And that's a little bit unnerving for these people. If it happened that there were two big events planned here in Grenada for the same day or the same weekend, sure, somebody would give way and say, okay, let's reschedule ours. But Pitimartinique, you know, it's not hard to understand why the people of Pitimartinique feel the way they do about us. It's not hard.
And that is why I'm very passionate about promoting Pitimartinique. I remember when I came to Grenada, they used to laugh at us because we they say we sang instead of, you know, the way we speak. They say you're singing all the time. Then they always try to crush us. I remember one of my cousins who got very depressed. He was very, very bright, a brilliant guy. Emmanuel Belma was his name. And we noticed that he was going to bed early and not doing his homework and stuff. And when we checked, he was being bullied in school because he was coming first all the time. And a couple of boys decided to beat him up if he come first in. So he did his best not to come first. And of course he came first. And was afraid to go back to school because he was afraid he was going to be beaten. So we had to go and see Mr. Batiste about what was going on. And it happens all the time. And when you hear even the government ministers, they like to run up there. Last election, every time I went to Pitimartinique, within 24 hours, including the Prime Minister, would go up there because anything Sherron do, they had to try and undo. And eventually they end up paying out a whole set of young people to vote for them, which is against the law. But the thing is, after that, they forget about Pitimartinique. So every time they open them out and they say Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitimartinique, I feel to punch them down. I get very emotional about that. They do not really care for Pitimartinique people. Look, they promised a certain young man that he was going to. They even think of the one who sold his soul to them about making him a senator. You know, so it's just sad. We're considered like third-class citizens.
I just hope the people of Pitimartinique have good memories, and I thank you for always, always, always remembering them.
Yeah, that's what, you know, everybody have a purpose in life.
Yeah.
That's one of my purposes in life, to serve Pitimartinique. And of all my siblings, I am the only one who went back to serve.
Well, you know, I do hope that some time ago we had planned on getting up there for one of the festivals. Well, that hasn't materialized. But, you know, we should really organize. Maybe it's time for us to do something special on our own. Rather than, you know, going for part of a festival, do something on our own. So perhaps down the road we could plan a little rendezvous up there. How about that?
Definitely, because when I get back home, I'm not going to be driven again until
next World Cup.
No, No, maybe until December.
Okay, okay.
So we could definitely organize and get up to PM and do something special.
Hey, Mags, I hope you're listening to that, Mags. I hope you're listening to that. So she's going to excuse us for not making it to that festival they had up there. All right. So, Winty, anything you want to say before we get into tomorrow's game?
Just the obvious. I expect to win the tournament.
he ain't talking about the game, you know. He's talking about winning the tournament.
George, I keep reminding him that we live in St. Paul's, not in Hope. We're very near to Hope Vale, but still.
Winty, are you familiar with that old proverb from years and years ago? If you live in Hope, you're gonna die in Marquee. You ever heard that?
No, I haven't heard that.
That's one of my favorite old people saying. You know, keep living in Hope. You're gonna die in Marquee. Yeah.
But you only need about 6 wins to get into the semi-final stage. The last 4 get into the semi-final. I definitely expect to get into those last 4. West Indies will be there.
Okay.
Yes.
So we need 6 wins. Does that include the one we just had, or 5 more?
Yes.
Pardon me?
But I expect to beat Australia tomorrow.
You know, boy, talk about an optimist, man. Talk about an optimist. We got to get you to set the agenda for this country, man. Yeah. Because
I don't dabble in politics anymore. Years ago in Trinidad, I tried to throw the prime minister.
Yeah. Okay.
No profile.
And have your bones all been rejuvenated from that performance last week?
Yes, indeed.
By the way, Margaret says, yeah, I'm listening loud and clear, and she gives us 2 thumbs up, Sherron.
When is she coming down?
I don't know. Margaret, you'll have to answer Sherron. And I'm going to say thank you guys for joining us this morning. You going to get some sightseeing done today?
We went out already, organized our tickets for traveling on Friday. And we're going to Northern Ireland on Friday.
Wow.
And then when we get back, we're going to be in Croydon until we
leave on the 17th. We come back to Grenada on the 17th.
Okay. Well, good to see you guys. And Winty, I shall arrange to have Ray with us next Wednesday morning.
Beautiful.
All right.
Beautiful. Look forward to it.
Take care.
Take care, guys. Good to see and hear from you, Sherron and her dear hubby out there in the UK. And folks, let me see here. We're going to take a little break. And we're going to come right back and wrap it up.
Mouth Open Story Jump Out comes to Brooklyn and Washington, D.C., featuring the humor and storytelling of Ricardo Kings Douglas.
They say she comes all the way up here to Toronto to shop for cosmetics and go back down.
Roll back the years in Brooklyn with Lord Nelson. Also in the Brooklyn concert, Quick USA. And in Washington, Diane and Friends and Julian Moore. Washington, D.C., Saturday, June 8th. And Father's Day, Sunday, June 16th. In Brooklyn at the Tropical Reflection Ballroom on 4501 Glenwood Road from 6 p.m. It's the perfect Father's Day treat. Tickets, $30 in advance. Available at Eventbrite and popular outlets. Or call 347-350-4285 in Brooklyn and 240-460-0442 in Washington, D.C., Maryland. In Brooklyn, special guest, the Mighty Sparrow, will be joined by cultural ambassadors and preservationists to be recognized with New York State proclamations. They include Lord Nelson, Derek Vento, Heron Rockin' J. Douglas, Gentle Benjamin, Lambert, and the Matadors, and the Quick USA Cultural Organization. Additionally, 2 lucky patrons will get to stay free at the award-winning Blue Horizons Garden Resort in Grenada for 3 nights, including breakfast and a dinner at La Belle Creole Restaurant, sponsored by Tropical Reflection Ballroom, Blue Horizon Gardens Resort, the Pellifer, Caribbean Times Newspaper, Dr. Derek Lezama, Century 21 Achievers Realty, Attorney Glenroy George, the Otley Law Firm, and Funk Media NYC. Washington, D.C., Saturday, June 8th. And Brooklyn, Father's Day. Mouth Open, Story Jump Out.
Gudday chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Alrighty, folks, Sherron, in case you're still there, Margaret says she doesn't know. She doesn't know when she's going to be back here next. But hey, we're here all the time. We'll keep in touch. Let's see here. Time to pull the curtain down. Let's do so with a quick visit to the book of Romans, Romans chapter 14, verses 1 to 4. Accept the one whose faith is weak, without quarreling over disputable matters. One person's faith allows them to eat anything, but another, whose faith is weak, eats only vegetables. The one who eats everything must not treat with contempt the one who does not. And the one who does not eat everything must not judge the one who does, for God has accepted them. Who are you to judge someone else's servant? To their own master, servants stand or fall, and they will stand, because the Lord is able to make them stand. Romans 14, verses 1 to 4. Pilgrims, hey boy, quick morning, eh? Things just zipped right along here this morning, but that's fine. You were here, and for that I am thankful and very happy. God bless you, and we'll see you again tomorrow, same time.